In my series of experiments with watered-down acrylics on the gel plate, this is one of the results that turned out a hot Spanish landscape. Stay tuned and watch me do this. Hello and Merry Christmas, Gelli fans! This is the second print of my series of watered-down acrylic jelly prints, so this paint is diluted with water about 2:1. Putting on a bandage that is supposed to represent a bit of a landscape. The pattern is very fine and subtle, and that's what I want here. Spraying some irregular dots of water on, I do that by just moving the trigger of the spray bottle ever so slightly. Taking off the water dots with a tissue. I'm using an XXL gel plate, as I will be taking the print through a mat board to get the size that I want. The printing paper is quite thick, so be sure to press it down firmly, especially at the rims of the mat board. Kind of a nice electric effect there, little flashes. I worked out some of the bandage patterns here, but I did not like the brown so much, so I tried the red and erased the brown again. Then I thought that the print was somehow too boring to just work it out like that. So I dug out some old newspapers to make an image transfer. This is a Spanish paper I got from the flea market. It is from 1971, and I thought this was great because the print shows a lot of heat and Spain is a hot country. I found two graphics that I liked. I could have printed directly from the paper, but that would ruin the paper itself, so I decided to make a laser copy and be able to use the images again. I tore out the sun and thereby created a fuzzy edge, which I wanted to show in the print. The building design I cut out with scissors, because the light edges were not visible, and I was afraid you wouldn't be able to tell that these were buildings. You'll see what I mean later. I tried on different sizes, having a bit of difficulty here. I wanted to place the sun over the brightest spot, but then the buildings would have overlapped with the sun, and I did not want that. After fumbling away for a bit, I was satisfied with the plan. Printing the sun first, using just one corner of an A4 sized jelly plate. The layer of paint should not be too thin and not too thick. You get a feeling for that if you practice this often. You can see it's quite a good transfer. I have exchanged the flexible jelly plate cover on the other underside with a more durable, sturdy, transparent sheet. It keeps the plate steady and you don't have all the wobbling, which makes placing the image on the right spot a lot easier. It works great. Turning the package around and rubbing a bit more on the paper. Nice print. It shows the double rim that the fuzzy tearing created. So, same procedure with the buildings. By the way, if you use regular acrylic paint here, you have got to be quick. Or you wait until it is dry and pick the layer off with a transparent medium or so. I didn't want that, so I am using the golden open paints. They stay wet quite long. Here I am taking off some smeared color surrounding the buildings with a baby wipe, but I'm careful not to take off the slight rims around the buildings. Here, I'll give you a close-up. And like I wanted, the rim defines the outlines of the buildings. Perfect. I'm so perfect. I love it. Sorry, I'm so vain. So this turned out quite nice, and here comes the developing of this print. First, I am enhancing the double rim around the sun. Maybe you don't like this kind of unrealistic workout, but I always find that a little bit of artificial design makes it all the more interesting. The writing means the sun of the coast is entering your home, which I find is just the perfect motto for a Spanish painting. Consequently, I lengthen two of the sun rays to enter the home. I am enhancing the building structures very subtly to not disturb that original print feel. The border of the bandage print is my horizon line, and I use it to fit the buildings into the landscape. Now I'm using the black for this, so it matches the buildings. All these sparkles and flashes in the sky, I want to work them out with red. See that cloud there? I haven't done anything to it before, it just printed like that. I'm enhancing this a little bit with red. It's so amazing. Also note those decalcomania patterns on the left, which I will also enhance. These mysteries of the Gelli plate and the color give me. I could marvel at this forever. And it's always different and new. A little bit of red also goes into the sun. There are some green weeds here that popped up, although I didn't even use any green colors. They get red shadow for some reason here. And I want to give the horizon a red glow. This is getting hotter by the minute. At last, I'm just giving hints where the landscape throws shadows. If I did them all, it would be too much to see for the eyes, and it would get boring. Okay, I'll call this one done. Wow, that was so much fun. Here is a glimpse on next week's video. Also a watery landscape, but it came out totally different. Merry Christmas and peace for everyone. See you next week.